What's going on, you guys? Slim here. My boy Age Persuasion. You already know. We're here with once again Mr. Simon here. You already know the regulars here on the channel, and we are here to profile one of my favorite decks in all of Yu-Gi-Oh. I'm absolutely.
One of mine too. Yeah.
I'm floored. I'm floored. You're actually playing this. This is like a monumental moment because, wow. This man is here to profile Dark, which he almost. They were close. They almost did top the 3v3. What was your personal record with the deck?
It was X1.
Oh, wow.
And I only lost 2 games the entire tournament, the entire Swiss. And everything else was 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0. I never went to a game 3. I lost to branded Despia, which it was actually my bad. I tried something new in game 2 where I let him go first, which was a mistake. But everything else was 2-0. Versus like 4 Kashichiras was 2-0. It was. I love the deck. It's very explosive. It's the perfect time to play the deck, I think, because like I had a list of all the decks that were being held back by a Shizu tier, or like these Shizu cards, the millers and the shufflers, and there was a lot of them. And one of them was Dark World. They recently just got some really powerful cards, but because of the Shizu stuff, it just does nothing. But right now, just for specifically this event, specifically YCS Vegas, and just after new backlist, there's no Droll and Lockbird in anyone's deck almost. No one really can make Dweller. There is no main deck Shifter, and there is not many Bestials made. Only like branded Bestial can main like a couple Bestials, maybe sided, but like no one main Shifter anymore because like the format is like Kashichira for now. And I think this deck was like amazing. Like every time I played Kashichira, it was just so comfortable.
Even with that was our main question. Is with I think a lot of people were on the fence about Dark World only for the threat of a macrocosmos, which is good. But the funny thing is with the list, with all the changes that have come, you know, the DeFis, the macros, you're not really seeing those. But everyone was scared of the macro, of course, in Cash Tier. So I think that was like the big thing.
A few like experienced players actually came to the same conclusion to play Dark World themselves, and I didn't really contact any of them. I was quite surprised that some of them did, but their builds were a little different, which I didn't really agree with. Because of how they build their deck, they were more susceptible to losing to the macrocosmos in Kashichira, but I didn't have that problem. I'll show you why. I played 1 Grapha. A lot of people play 2 and 3. I've seen some of the other builds, but I don't want to open this going first. I can search this because one of the new cards can just search this when it's discarded by card effect. And this is kind of a brick when going first. It's good when you go second, but when you go first, when you discard it, it does nothing.
Yeah, you're not popping anything.
One Ceruli, this is the main guy to do the loop. I will have to say that I'm not looping for 5. I'm looping for 4, and then I'm setting up the Grapha Fusion and Appaloosa. If you're looping for 4, you've already got enough steam and gas to set up the Grapha Fusion and Appaloosa. So that's very, very likely. And so they leave with 1 card that they keep, and then 1 card you draw. They draw for the turn, and you have 1 basically Omni-negate and like Appaloosa to negate everything. So I don't think it was necessary. You have to play 2 Ceruli or the level 6, the new level 6 guy to loop for 5. And basically, I never want to see this card opening, go first. I want to like search it with Snow later, or like draw with one of the draw cards. Because like, I'm really trying to make it as consistently combo as possible, and you don't want to brick when you go first. 2 of the new Rainbow, this card is ridiculous. I'm quite surprised like the new cards, most of them are still like not restricted to once per turn. You can still like keep doing them, so you can keep bouncing like Grapha. You can just like summon something, you bounce for this. Most of the time you bounce Genta, so Genta can discard to search for Fuel Spell again. And then Grapha can bounce this as well, and you just replenish hands. And when it's discarded by card effect, you can get Silver or you can get Grapha, which is amazing. And it's a level 8, which is quite important. 2 Silver. Sometimes you need to allure one away. So I needed 2, and this is the main way to handle them basically. For those that you don't know, you just give them Ceruli, and then Ceruli discards for Silver, and Silver special summon itself. And because it's discarded by their Ceruli, it's on their field, they put back 2 cards. So you literally just loot this. 3 Snow, the second or first best card in the deck, such as any Dark World card, absolutely ridiculous. Probably the best Dark World card.
Best support card to ever come out.
You just want to open this all the time. You discard it, you search the field. The field activates, you banish this, you pitch anything, draw a card, and it gets everything going. This special summons itself back. If you discarded for the field spell, if you discarded this, then you just bounce this back. You discard it for another field spell again. You just keep going. You just keep drawing. The whole point of this deck is just keep drawing, and then you combo and you loop the hand. One Sephiroth, it's very important because it's a 4. It's a 4 because you do make some rank 4 plays. It's a dark for a lower potentially, and it bounces the field spell, which is very good. For the dangers, that's all for like the dark worlds and the non-dark world thing. Then I have the dangers, the 2 Mothman and the 2 Chupacabra. I think the 4 plays, like, you don't really want to play 3 of any of the dangers because you don't really want to open 2 of them. Apart from like I play 3 Nessie because that was like one of the best ones. But you need the level 4s because you're trying to make the rank 4 plays. The Garis is really important, and also this is a Fiend for the field spell. So yeah. I just want to play quite a high danger package because they keep the loop going. They keep you going. They keep the gas going. 2 Bigfoot. Originally I wanted to play 3, but I cut it down to 2 and had 1 Thunderbird with it as well because like sometimes I would open 2 and if you reveal it and then there's just higher chance you hit it, so it's not very good. I don't think that the stats difference is that important, and also going second, like you want to have different variations of pops. So you have like one of this pop, you have one of this pop, and you have one Grapha pop. That's like, it's just really good going second. Like there's a lot of pops and then there's a lot of big monsters that comes out to the field. Jackalope, 1 Snake. This is like one of the worst ones, but because it always guarantees you a body, you might as well play it. Because it doesn't synergize with the 4s, it doesn't synergize with the 8s. 3 Nessie, probably the best one. Jackalope is really good as well. Even if you discard it, you can get 8 for the rank 8 play. I think that's all the dangers. And for the last monsters, there's 3 Lava Golems. So yeah, so this is the reason why the other Dark World builds I've seen wasn't very good into Kashtira, because they didn't main at discard, they decided to discard. I think so. I didn't know about the spell, but there's a spell that you can discard. I think it's a normal spell. You discard a card and you search this. You can search this, which is really good, and the discard is a cost, so it still triggers the dangers. So like I wanted to main deck. I think this is like the perfect main deck choice because it has synergy with the field spell because it's a fiend, so you can banish that, and synergy with trading. So if you go first, it's not a dead card.
Yeah.
If you go second, it just outs like anything. It's like Sprite is so free because of this card. Like I don't think anyone should be playing pure Sprite anymore, but for now anyway. Against Kashtira, you always get into this. Imagine they all full combo me. Like I lost 2 dice rolls against Kashtira, and it was still 2-0. Like they all full combo me, but it's fine because like even if they have the Macrocosmos, if I go, let's say I have like, obviously I have a lot of draw cards like Trade In and Allure. So I'm always getting into more cards. So I'm always like potentially drawing into this, and I play 40, so I can draw into it more. And also like whilst you're doing that, even with the Macrocosmos on the field, if you trade in a Bigfoot, like the dangers still trigger even if they're banished, as long as they're discarded by cost or effect or anything. So you can just start popping something. Like you can even pop a Rise Heart if they don't have Goliath, if they did open pop Prosperity. So like I think like getting into this is not a problem at all.
Right. I think the additional synergy is nice too, because I think a lot of people forget about that. The Lava Golem's a fiend, and it's 8, so it really does.
And this deck doesn't have a true normal summon.
True.
Yeah, it doesn't really normal summon. Like that's why.
You're not playing beige. I don't. Yeah, you're
no,
not
I don't play
playing
beige, but you know, there was a bit of worry that I wasn't playing any brows, but the thing is, like Hansei, my teammate, helped me build this deck. And he cut out a lot of like fat in the deck, as they would like to call it. So like we had to keep it 40. We needed a big danger package for just the comp, just the speed and the steam of the deck. Like the main ones are Genta and Snow, and you always have like because of Genta special summon itself, you always have like a body and silver as well. Like Brow is okay because it keeps you drawing, but it wasn't one of the most important ones. And honestly, I did not miss it at all. So yeah, 3 field spells. This could be cut to 2, because you don't want to open like more than 1. You don't even want to open any. You want to open Genta. You want to search it. But like there were times where I would like open 1, and then I still have a Genta and I can't discard it. It's all, even if I open 2, it's horrible like not having a Genta pitch. But going second, I do side out 1 quite a lot of times. Side decking with this deck is like pretty difficult actually. And I'll tell you why later. Trade-ins, like just spells to get the engine going. allures, another spell to get the engine going, and some of the other guys that played Dark, what was it? Dealings? Dark World Dealings?
Dark World Dealings, yeah.
We didn't play that card because it was like, we didn't want to correct their hand, basically.
Yeah.
Like, we weren't thinking about the mirror match, but like correcting the hand, it might draw into Nibiru or something like that. And if you're not at that stage where you make Appaloosa or something, or you just still have enough gas to keep going, even after Nibiru, then Nibiru can be kind of a choke point at the right points. So we didn't want to give them that a chance. The last 3 cards are Archive. I actually thought this was a brick a lot when you open it going first. Like, it only kind of worked when you already kept on going. But the effect is pretty good because these 2 allow you to discard anytime you want. When this card's in the grave and when this card's on the field, it allows you to get any discard. So sometimes you're in your combo where you just want to discard the Cerulite. You don't want to discard anything else. And a lot of the times the other discards is danger related, so that's like chance related. So I kind of wanted both of these in. I side this out going second sometimes. Also for this tournament, I'm not sure why it's ruled this way. I'm not sure if it's going to be ruled this way for the future, but I think in Europe it was ruled differently. So the first effect, when you discard, you can't use it unless you have a Dark World monster, because you don't have anything to boost. But they ruled it here that you can discard because the discard is a cost. So you're not doing nothing. Yeah. It still does something. The effect does something. So that's a big change, because like I didn't like this card before because like sometimes you just brick on it and you have no Dark World stuff. But now you can pitch any time and then trigger like essentially kind of like a semi-graceful charity with a draw 2 discard 1. So this is really, really good now. Only 1 field spell. Like I kept the bricking package small, like 1 Grapha, 1 this. Like you can always search this out with Snow, because Snow searches out anything. So you don't really need to play more than 1. And
no, obviously.
Card is absolutely ridiculous. Like I didn't play Frost. I think like the side deck and extra deck can be worked a bit more, because like we only had 2 days. Like last week was like she's a tier format, so we only had 2 days to like sort of work this out. There were cards like you can side like Frost and other different things. Like Frost can search out a lot of different things that like can protect you in situations. I can search out this as well. So yeah, the side deck could be worked on. Like I mentioned earlier, that it was very difficult to side because this deck is very combo based. So you have to keep it like flowing well. If you side too many, you can't side too many cards. Like ideally, you only want to side like 2 or 3 cards per matchup. Yeah. So yeah, the side decking was very difficult. So I don't think the side deck was perfect. I had 3 skill drain. I don't think there's many back row removal, and there's not that many things that can deal with skill drain. Skill drain, like there was between this or Gozen match. So we wanted something that we can stop them from killing us and playing if they shifter us. Even if like the Cashew is still side shifter. So like we wanted something that is generically good and doesn't really hurt the deck, which just does not at all. And it buys us turn and then we can play again. 3 Twin Twister. It's nice with the dangers, like for the back row decks and for like Labyrinth and stuff like that.
Yeah. Discard Thunderbird, pop 3.
Yeah. 1 Lingeribo. I have another Lingeribo in my extra deck, so this is like when you go second against Kashua. So like, I don't know if people are maining Ibli. We decided that like people weren't gonna main Ibli. So like if they go first and they in game 1 and they only see 1 Lingeribo, they might side the Iblis, and then I side in another Ibli, and it's just like they can't get rid of both of them. They say 2 Lingeribos, they can't get rid of both Lingeribos,
Big brain play.
3 Bucket Eclipse, 2 Radiant. So this, we kind of like try to look ahead of what the good players would do to us, the good cash players do to us, if they see us like having maining Lava Golem. But I don't think this was needed, because like if they only end on a Rise, just the Macrocosmos and nothing else to play around Lava Golem, I think it wasn't like it was fine to just get past a Rise, like just by popping it, unless they have Goliath or something. Like you can definitely play past it with just like the normal engine. we just thought like because it's a fiend again and it's a dog, it has some synergy. But because like you can't side that much, so like this could have been something else. This could have been Frost and something else, or like some Frost cards. So it could have been just like 3 Book Eclipse because you have like so much draw power. You could get to the Book Eclipse or Lava like pretty easily. And 3 Ash. This is mainly for like maybe Flu and definitely for Branded Fusion really. Yeah. That is the side deck. I think I was going to say something else about it. What else is there? Yeah, no, not really. For the extra, we have 2 Nightmares. These are really good. So like if you go second, because you have so many bodies you link, and then you co-link them, you're discarding dangers, which will trigger, and you're sort of like drawing one as well. This is very good for clearing fields. But when you're going first as well, you have a lot of situations where you have like danger bodies. You have danger bodies, and then you need to get rid of them into a fiend because you're trying to go for, I don't know how to pronounce this thing, Akashic Magician.
Oh, yeah.
So this needs 2 fiends, 2 monsters with the same type. So like mostly it's fiends. So a lot of times you just link off materials like to go into this. So this will bounce serially, so you can like loop them again. Now that's like the basic.
4, yeah.
Yeah, that's the basic loop. And also sometimes you need to just link into like a generic link too when you're going first, just so that you're getting rid of your Grapher and the Rainbow, so you can like bounce whatever Dark Lord is there. So you just keep doing that. And at the same time, you sort of link climb as well. So I think these were like absolutely great. This should be Exciter Knight. This was played because the same reason as what I just mentioned to get into this, because it's a fiend. But like if you're going first, you can just use these because you don't really need these going first. So this could be Exciter Knight because like against Kashira, they usually rip out the Zeus. Because you have a lot of level 4 plays, you can still make Exciter Knight going second as well. Once I use this just keeps the steam going. Like you have a lot of dangers, you can just make this draw a lot of cards, 1 Lingeribo, 1 Access Code. So like going second, you have a lot of materials. You link climb, you pop fields, you end up on this. And the thing is with this deck is like going first, you have to loop them. And it's pretty easy to loop them, but like this deck only lasts a turn. You don't want to give them a follow-up. So when you go second, you have to like sort of clear the board and like either OTK them, or if you keep serially in going second, you clear the board and you clear like the maybe 1 or 2 cards left in the hand. But Silver says exactly 2, so like you have like if they have 2 or 3, then you try to clear those. If not, like it's very difficult for this deck because it just like spams the entire hand. If you're going second, it's very difficult for you to clear them and they play again, and then for you to be able to clear them. So you kind of have to like OTK them if you're going second. 1 Appaloosa. I don't think I have much to say about that one. Dark, Muckraker. This is really good. I'm not sure if everyone played this. This locks you to fiends when you use it, but the thing is, it allows you to discard 1, not for cost, so it triggers the dangers, and it revives something. Sometimes you kind of run out of danger monsters, so you kind of want to revive like a Snow and then bounce it again. Like, but your turn sort of ends after that. If for some reason they hand trap you like 2 or 3 times and you can't hand loop them, but like they've already used some of their cards, so they don't have much. You can end on like this maybe Appaloosa, and some just big monsters, and it's really hard for them to deal with. Like one Sprite player tried to Mosquito kill me, but I have this, and this basically it's not even once per turn. It every time something will be destroyed by I think battle or card destruction. Yeah, so you can tribute 1 fiend, any fiend, and then to protect it. Like so, and you can do it for like, so like they can never OTK you through this. Like you contribute the monster with the hallucination token that the Mosquito brings, so like they can't. It's really hard to get past this. 1 Zeus, 1 Baguska. This is not to stop cash. Like if you play Flu, maybe you make this, but if they shifted you, you're not making this because they against Kashira because they have Scarecrow. They can always get to Scarecrow. This is mainly to like when you go second, it makes it easy to Zeus. 1 Zeus. This guy's insane. Like because like I mentioned, because of the level 8 plays, thrice per turn, draw 1 card, and this deck because it naturally takes a long time because you're going through like the entire deck. You can go to timeout sometimes, and this guy burns. Yeah. 1 Dugara is the best. This is better than this in my opinion, because like it's easy to get onto just like 2 level 4s to keep the engine going, keep the steam going. Like get into this kind of hard. Like it's kind of a choke point. So like if they have Nibiru and they wait for this, it's kind of difficult. But so you try to like do this, and get enough steam going, and then make this. And 1 graph fusion. Yeah, that is it.
It's crazy to see it, but in 2023, you playing Dark World. I think Mr. Balan would be very happy.
Mr. Balan
would be very happy to see that.
I really like the strategy. I like the idea to actually play this, because I think this will open a lot of players' eyes to that you can play this deck if you build it correctly. I think everyone was just scared to play it because of Macrocosmos and Deepfisher or anything that just banishes everything. But with the synergy of Lava Golem, I think it changes the way to play the deck.
Quite a lot. I think the deck is like, it does take a little bit of skill to like play properly, because you only have 1 turn. Like you have to do everything, like you have to do all your link plays correctly in that turn. You have to lead them with nothing, or just kill them. But this deck is so much fun, and it was for this event. It was like I mentioned before, it was like the perfect time to play it. So I do recommend playing with this deck, because like unlike things like my second choice was Runic Naturia, and because of the Runic cards, you have to be very good with technical play because you're missing your battle phase as well. And this deck is kind of less stress because you know big monsters.
You're killing them.
Yeah. Look at it in terms, it's crazy. But it's awesome to see, man. Glad to see you play something different, something that I think a lot of players will definitely take a lot away from this profile. So we definitely hope to see more in the future and see how the deck evolves. And yeah, thank you for the deck profile.
Cheers.